Hello everyone, and welcome to my Y&R Homies channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Y&R recap: Billy begs Phyllis for forgiveness, Sharon asks Nick to travel to Europe, and Alan's conduct raises concerns with Traci. Monday, March 17, 2025, Phyllis shares with her children her time in captivity. Sharon believes her abductor must have had a psychology degree, and Chance discovers some hints on Young and Restless today. Friday's recap: after the camera was destroyed, the room filled with lethal gas, and Billy, Chance, and Nick hurried to their aid to save Phyllis and Sharon. The USA premieres this Day Ahead recap episode on March 17. Be prepared for spoilers. Every day, recaps go up at 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nick gives Sharon her brownie and lavender cappuccino at Crimson Lights. She tells him that she squeaked when she gave Faith a tight embrace. She was quite concerned about the children. Nick questions whether she wants to return home and relax. Here's the reason: she's where she wants to be. She has come to the realization that she has to regain control over her life and value the things she takes for granted as a result of this experience. They questioned whether the kidnapper was someone they knew, such as one of their children, Sharon adds. Whoever was in charge was fully aware of their past. It seemed as though someone was attempting to instruct them. They desperately wanted to know who would take this action. Nick suggests discussing extreme therapy. He questions if it was a success. Sharon acknowledges that they had to confront certain problems and that it was oddly therapeutic. They had no choice but to save one another's life. All of this was a psychological experiment, the voice insisted. Nick questions how someone could have committed such a horrible act. She is certain that the person must have experience in psychology. It was similar to desensitization or aversion treatment. All he can say is that he's happy they got out of this. They have to find out who was responsible. Nick questions how someone could have committed such a horrible act. She is certain that the person must have experience in psychology. It was similar to desensitization or aversion treatment. All he can say is that he's happy they got out of this. They have to find out who was responsible. Sally informs Billy that this has been the most bizarre kidnapping she has ever heard of. Even though he knew it may have been a trap, he acknowledges that he took the smallest chance to save Phyllis. Even though he knew it may have been a trap, he acknowledges that he took the smallest chance to save Phyllis. He feels foolish for thinking that Phyllis had betrayed him. Spectra advises him not to place the guilt on himself. She is certain that Phyllis was coerced into telling a false narrative, but Billy kicks himself. All he can say is that he is happy they arrived at that time. The gas was filling the room. Phyllis and Sharon would have perished 5 minutes later. She thinks this is crazy. They only hope that before it occurs again, the police will identify the perpetrator. He thinks the police can take care of it from here while she massages him. Sally requests a pledge from him. He does. He only wants to focus on the business once Phyllis is well. They share a kiss after Sally declares him a hero. In the GCAC entryway, Phyllis gives her kids a hug. They had been quite concerned about her. She gets wine and a burger from the kids. She responds, laughing, "I like it's not poisoned." When the kids ask what occurred, their mother tells them that they were confined to the clinic for a strange experiment. Summer notes that the perpetrator has not been apprehended. She is thus still in risk. Phyllis maintains that they shouldn't be concerned since she is well protected. In any case, they are concerned. Their mother promises to find the person responsible. Her son assures her that she cannot act as a vigilante and asks her to let the police handle this. They talk about how her and Sharon's background contributed to this and how their ability to support one another was put to the test. They learn about the poison and riddles from Phyllis. Simply put, the children are appreciative that Sharon saved her. When their mother realizes that Sharon is the reason she survived, she becomes upset. They learn from Phyllis how she had to save Sharon when her heart stopped beating. Her son inquires as to whether they were able to resolve their conflict. His mother acknowledges that they now see one another's advantages. Summer queries if Ian may have been responsible for this. Although Phyllis is certain he is dead, the strange person who harmed her must be apprehended quickly. When Phyllis arrives at Billy's, she stops him from kissing Sally. They're relieved she's all right. She's out and about, which surprises him. Sally leaves because she has to get to the office. After she leaves, Phyllis breaks down in tears and says Billy is the one person who can save her life. She expresses to him her eagerness to go to work. She apologizes for the interruption to their schedule. She should take some time and not worry about the firm, he says, reminding her that she was abducted. Knowing she was returning to Abbott Communications and everything they are doing, according to Phyllis, was what got her through her ordeal. She values it and needs that right now. She won't be able to get over what was taken from her without it. He can appreciate her need to be in charge, but it's crucial that she avoids taking on more than she can manage. Phyllis maintains that she is optimistic about this and that she needs the thrill of employment. Billy acknowledges that he had already issued the press statement because he believed she had gone missing. She understands it till he adds that it didn't include her name. She advises him not to worry even if he apologizes. She questions if he truly wants to work with her or whether this is just a compassion tactic as he constantly apologizing. He tells her that he wants to do this with no one else on the earth. She pardons him. He kept her alive. They give each other hugs. Chance informs Nick and Sharon that they have bagged everything and are searching for fingerprints at Crimson Lights. They discovered that the gas tap equipment was purchased from a hardware store close to the clinic. This implies that they are able to review their security video. Although Nick is certain that Phyllis has a list of adversaries, this was really impressive. The investigator advises Sharon to take a vacation at this time. Nick proposes that she visit Noah in Europe with Faith. She consents, but only if Nick joins them. Alan sees Traci clutching his phone in their suite. She adds that it was making noises and that she picked it up after noticing an odd warning. He picks up the phone and examines it. Alan thinks that he has been hacked since he says he has been getting these texts for a few days. She understands it and advises him to purchase a new phone. She points out that he texted her earlier when he walked out, even though he claims he hasn't checked his phone in days. He picks up the phone and examines it. Alan thinks that he has been hacked since he says he has been getting these texts for a few days. She understands it and advises him to purchase a new phone. She points out that he texted her earlier when he walked out, even though he claims he hasn't checked his phone in days. He laughs and explains that he was so eager to get back to her that he most likely simply forgot that. He has most likely been hacked, but it doesn't matter. It would be intriguing to have your identity stolen as a therapist. It could be fascinating to have that experience. He already did, she reminded him, when his brother Martin impersonated him. They begin discussing alternatives after he shifts the conversation to the wedding. She recommends that they return to Paris. She wants him to know that he has given her more than she could have ever imagined. As long as they are married, he doesn't care where it takes place. She worries what type of hack this may be because his phone continues vibrating with alerts about a security breach. This causes him to lose his temper. After shutting off his phone, he apologizes and says he's just stressed. All that counts is that they recently got engaged. He proposes that they take a plane to Paris in order to visit certain locations.